everyone! I know I've been slacking on these videos lately, but I kind of felt like no one was watching, so I, just kind of let it go to the wayside and, pursued other projects for a while. But I did get a request to do, like a drawing tutorial, so I'm pretty excited about that, and I figured I would do it today. So you'll need all of the stuff I talked about. I think it was video number 3 about art supplies, like the manga paper, all your markers and pens and pencils and erasers. And here I just have a few books that you might find helpful. Like this one, the figure, I just got this recently actually, because I took a figure drawing class when I was in London, but all of the artwork I did when I was over there, it got thrown out, I guess, because I was told it would be shipped to me once I came back to the States, but it never did, so oh well. I have no like figure drawing stuff anymore, so I bought this book. And just, shows like the basics of figure drawing, like the size of different body parts in comparison to each other, and poses, and just good stuff to know. It's not fashion based. For fashion poses, I like to use fashion magazines just to look at the body composition of like ads or editorial spreads. So, I mean, I'm sure anyone watching this probably has fashion magazines laying around that will be useful. And this is a monster of a book I got when I was still in college. And it was very expensive. I don't remember exactly how much, but it is indispensable. It pretty much tells you how to render just about every textile in the book. It shows a lot of different styles of drawing and styles of just ways to render different textiles, different ways to render the same textile, etc., etc. Just a really great book to have if you're like, oh, how do you draw lace? And then you can look it up in here, and stuff like animal print. Just difficult things like that, this is a really good one to have for that. So before I begin, I figure I would show you my portfolio, so I'm not just someone who really sucks at drawing who's going to show you how to draw, because that'd be kind of ironic, so let me see. Alright, I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible just because I want to keep it underneath the limit for YouTube. So here's like my just front page, and here is actually one of my favorite fashion illustrations. Sorry for the glare, but I'm really obsessed with like Alice in Wonderland and the White Rabbit, so I did like this little like anthropomorphized like white rabbit girl for my front page, and I really am happy with that. And let's see, here's just a little my... This is a first collection I did, so this is like the worst I've ever been at fashion illustration, but even that I don't think is that bad. Here's a few other projects I've done. Inspiration pages. I got this little like Polaroid template thing I use on Photoshop that I use for like every single one of my projects. And here's stuff from Adobe Illustrator. Oh, here's some hard stuff. This is like grading patterns. And yeah, these are like time-consuming illustrations, and this is the kind of illustration I do if I am going really fast, so you can see there's not much detail on there, but it still looks pretty elegant, if I do say so myself. And here, oh, here's my senior fashion show. And here's some more Alice in Wonderland stuff, of course. Inspiration. And here's like different kinds of prints I learned how to draw. And the last page is pants. I probably should have put something different for my last page, but oh well. So those are, I guess, my credentials. So if you think I'm worthy of teaching you how to draw a bit, then stay tuned. Alright, I hope this angle isn't too weird, and I hope everyone will be able to see what I'm doing. I kind of have this little tripod thing, so I'll see what I can do. So for this first section, I'm going to just use my ink pens and my pencil and eraser. We'll do color later. So what you do when you first start out is I do like a wireframe. Some people do like geometric blocks, like is shown on the cover of this book right there. Some people think of the body as geometric blocks. I like to do it like a thin line wireframe. So let's see, let me think of I'll do like a simple pose today. Not do anything too fancy, and I might mess up, so you'll see that messing up is not the end of the world. So here I'm doing the leg. I really hope you guys can see this and I'm not just wasting my time here. The other leg that will cross behind it. Basically, you want to make the wireframe as simple as possible because chances of you having to erase and do parts over are really high, so just do it lightly and just make it as simple as possible. Just have the arm hanging down there, maybe this arm on the hip. After a while, if you take figure drawing or if you just practice drawing a whole lot and are very conscious of the shape of the human body, you'll know right away when you make a mistake. You'll be like, oh, the elbow doesn't go there and such. Fashion illustration usually isn't that realistic. I actually got criticized when I was in my figure drawing class because I'd taken fashion illustration classes first, and therefore I drew kind of like these idealized, perfected shapes, and that's not how real humans look. So when you're doing fashion design, typically you draw people with very long legs, just very thin, very, you know, gazelle-like. So don't worry too much about realism. You can make it kind of stylized. So here is my wireframe. Let's see if we can show you that. So I guess that's step one. You just have the basic body shape. You can tell what the pose is going to be, but there's pretty much no detail. So the next step will be you add just the outer shape of the body. So here I'll start with the waist. And you just kind of go around the wireframe that you made, or, you know, the geometric shapes that you made. Add, you know, the curves of what the body would look like with flesh on it. This is usually the time where I realize I've messed up and have to like erase a lot. So we'll see what happens. So just repeat. And you can just do a very basic outline of clothing if you already know what you're going to draw on them. Like here I'm doing like a very basic outline of, you know, the high heels that she'll be wearing. Pretty much always draw people with high heels is what I learned. So here one of her thighs is a little short, so I'll extend the knee to make her thigh look longer. And let's see, shoulder. I haven't drawn it in a while because I've just been so busy trying to find a job, so I guess I'm a little out of practice. That goes to show no matter how much practice you've had in the past or how little practice you've had in the past, you know, you just have to keep at it constantly. If you're really good but then stop practicing, you start to suck. And if, you know, you need some practice and you just keep at it, then you'll become really good. So don't, you know, let your current skill level determine your, you know, end skill level. Alright, so now we have like this basic sketch outline of the body. Probably need to change a few things as I go along. So once you have the body shape down, at least roughly down like I have it here, then you can start adding the clothing. I'll do something pretty simple for the sake of time. Ruffles are one of my favorite things to do, and they're actually really easy because you just make like a squiggly line. And if you are in design school or like making a portfolio to go into design school, you are going to need to show things like seam lines and darts because they will be watching for that. So here I did like a little English dart. There's the side seam. Do side seam on the skirt and then like gathers here. Once again, you're going to be erasing a lot, so just keep it light, keep it sketchy. It doesn't have to look perfect. I mean, even when I look at this right now, it's hard to believe that this will ever turn into something that looks polished. Give her little wedge heels. I think I made her feet quite long.